Okay, here we have a super micro case. We have a super micro motherboard, model number X9DRG-QF. The problem we have is that the power supply coming with this case which is the CSE-747TQ-R1620B. So it's a 1600 watt power supply, redundant power supply. So this case doesn't seem to have the right connector, or doesn't seem to have sufficient connector to supply power to this motherboard. This motherboard has 4 power connectors. One big white power connector, one 8-pin power connector. There's also another 8-pin power connector here. And there's also a 4-pin power connector that you can see here. As you can see, we plug the big white power connector is connected. The 8-pin power connector is connected, and we plugged into the other 8-pin power connector. We plugged 2 4-pins connectors. We plug them in there. We followed the instruction of Super Micro Tech Support. But still, we don't have any power connector for this little guy here. The connector left on the power supply are connectors for GPU, so they are 8 pins power connectors. We have those little guys here for floppies and things like that who are useless for us. What we did try is that we tried to connect an adapter to the 6-pin power we had here. We tried to connect that to this guy here so that gave us 4 pins, and we plugged it in here. It didn't work. We did try to connect that into the 8-pin as well, but the connectors are not compatible, so it was not possible to do that. So with that type of connection, when we start the server, you'll see we'll start it in a few seconds. First, we're going to connect the power cord on the back of the power supply. So there's 2 power supply, as you can see, redundant. So now we can hear low humming, very low humming noise. So there's nothing for the moment, really. We just plug the power. We're going to push the power button. Okay, now we have an increase in noise. We hear fans. The fans that we hear are the fan located on the back. They're the fan of the PSU. But the 2 fans here and here, they do not work. The fan on the heatsink for the CPUs are not working either, so these 2 guys are not working right now. Everything is connected. These 4 guys here in the front, they are not working. The fan on the motherboard is not working. So basically we have nothing working. At first we had the noise coming from these guys. So now the noise went down and we have a small humming, low noise humming, but nothing. If we push again the power button, nothing really happens. If I keep it pushed for a while, release it, if I push again, oh, now I have, it's waking up again, more noise coming from here. These 2 guys still are not working. not working, not working. And now we have a blinking light after the second push of the power supply. Now it's blinking. It's blinking at a pretty constant pace. This is the phone ringing. What we did, we have another server here. We took this power supply. We've got all the connector necessary. We've got the big white connector. We've got the 8-pin connector. We have a 4-pin connector. And hidden here somewhere, we have an 8-pin connector. It's just that we did some cable managing and we didn't need that extra 8-pin power connector, so it's here. But what we did before we turned this video, we took that off from this server and we plugged it in the Supermicro, and we pushed the power button and everything went on. The server boot, we could see everything on screen. We had the CPU were recognized, the memory was recognized, everything was working fine with the power supply from this little rack mount over there. But this big guy here doesn't seem to be able to start this server.